All right, welcome back. Preparing for risk. The best way to control risk is to be prepared for it. If you really want to get to your desired end state, first plan to achieve the objective. Okay? You want to have a plan to achieve it. Then you want to look to what could go wrong. Then you want to put control measures in place, alternative plans, and ensure that to the best of your ability, you can control the outcome. And in some cases, especially in sailing, we practice these maneuvers, like a man overboard drill, docking in tight spaces, things that don't happen frequently, but we want to be prepared for them in the event that they do happen. All right, like we said, the best way to be control risks is to be prepared for it. So great leaders plan for contingencies, meaning that the preparedness that we put into our plan, it allows for rapid and seamless integration of alternative plans. We've got plan B, C, and D. When the desired end state gets compromised, we're going to switch to maybe a secondary plan or a tertiary plan, but we're prepared and we're ready because we've thought about it, okay? So great leaders know that these issues are coming, right? We're not out there saying, you know what, I'm going out for a mellow state sail, and you know what, I'm going to be pissed if anything pops up. That's setting yourself up for a bad day. Why? Because there's nothing about the nature of sailing that says you're going to have a mellow state of sail every time you go out. Things are going to happen. The wind's going to change. Hey, a jibe is a pretty violent maneuver even when it's done right. The chance for risk is always there. Just leaving the dock, there's other boats. You can't always see the bottom. The bottom is changing. So the fact that you're doing risky events like flying and like sailing and many other things out there, there's inherent risk, and we must always be ready. You want to have a good plan. Know that things are going to change. You expect the change states and the alert states to pop up. And as that level of risk goes up with them, you use control measures, your plans, your procedures, your risks, your alternate plans, and they're accounted for in your plan. Therefore, there's no place for wishful thinking, no place for going, you know what, going out for a nice mellow sail, and that's it. Now, here's the key. If you do plan for these things, and you are ready, sometimes they pop up and go away. You don't even remember they happened. And that's how you have a nice mellow sail. All right, let's cover a few principles of to follow while sailing. Okay, there's four main principles I like to cover. One, take no unnecessary risks. Okay, hey Sven, the forecast winds show a big increase this afternoon. I'm putting in the reef in now before it starts to blow. You see, you don't have to wait for that to happen. You could do it early. So don't take unnecessary risks. Maybe it comes on time, maybe it comes early. So ask what's not necessary. Crew members, right? Say as the captain, you task some crew members to go get the weather and then bring it back to you. They go to the local operations center you have there, or they get on their phone, they download the weather, and they come back to you and they say, hey, the winds are forecast to be blowing over 40 knots when we arrive. If we leave now, we're going to arrive at the worst time of the forecast. So you review it, and after discussing with the crew, this is what the captain states. We're not going today. Tomorrow morning is a much better window. All right. So not only do you not take any unnecessary risks, you ask yourself what is necessary and what is not necessary. Okay. Next, make risk decisions at the right level. Okay. Do we make it the level of the owners, the managers, the level of the captain or the crew, or the level of an instructor? A good example would be, say, when to wear your life jacket on board the boat. Okay. Maybe you're on a lake, it's very flat, and you leave it up to the crew. Say, hey, if you feel comfortable without your life jacket on, the sea states nothing, it's just a nice day out, you don't feel like you have to put it on. Say you're out in the ocean, big sea states, lots of wind, lot going on the boat, maybe you don't allow the crew to make that decision on their own. You say, as the captain, I'm making the decision for all of us. Everybody, life jacket on. Make sense? Also, as owners and captains, maybe we have policies and procedures that we follow that doesn't even allow the instructors or the crew or other captains to make decisions at certain levels. Say, for instance, all your boat draw 5 to 6 feet draft, and you say, hey, as a sailing school, we are never going to anchor in anything less than 10 feet of water. So you've taken that responsibility out of the hands of most of the people using your boats, and you've put it at the level of the owners of the company and said, this is what we're going to do, or at the level of the head instructor. This is how we're going to operate. And so this allows those risk decisions to be made at the right level so that you can control the risk. All right. Ultimately, the authority is going to lie legally with the owners of the captains, which cannot be delegated, right? But in terms of managing the risk, you want to create, as the owners and the managers, you want to create the environment at which your lead followers can make the right choices to help manage that risk. Okay. Avoid risk by planning. We've already covered the importance of planning. Avoiding risk by planning is crucial, okay? This is where you have pre-played plans. You're laid out your policies, your procedures, your lessons, your checklists. You're gathering information and making it available before you go so it's fresh in your mind. All right, what is that going to do for you? Instead of waiting for a risk to come about, you've already thought about it. It's going to decrease your time to react, and therefore, oftentimes, it's going to eliminate the risk before it can get out of control. Okay, think foreseeable things out and have that plan before they come about. All right, and the last thing here, accept risk when the benefits outweigh the cost. I thought a little bit about this one, and I thought I'd just use the man overboard drill. Okay, we're going to accept the risk of a man overboard event because it's always possible, right? The only way to eliminate that possibility is to never go sailing. So in the extreme, we have to accept the risk of a man overboard event every time we go out because the benefit of sailing outweighs the cost of never participating in sailing, right? So that's not to say that we don't take numerous actions to mitigate the risk, okay? What we want to do is have plans, have a man overboard drill, brief it in your safety brief, have throwables available, have a lifeline available. All those things are done among most crew and always briefed in any sailing school and any sailing event. That's why I bring it up. We're going to accept that risk, but we're going to have some actions to take to mitigate that risk. All right. So just a quick review. No take unnecessary risks. Ask what is necessary, what's not necessary. Make risks at the right level. Avoid risk by planning, and accept the risks when the benefit outweighs the cost. All right. This is the eye chart we're going to cover in the next lesson. How exciting is this? We'll see you back in a minute.